Edward here from erviewer.com. I have a new video for you. This is the first in a series of experiments that I am involved in that involve remote viewing and being connected to technology to measure brainwave and brain activity. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time, and luckily I'm finally being allowed access to these types of technologies. There's a local place here in Austin, Texas called Headway Health. I highly recommend it to anybody here in Austin. Headway Health. It's in South Austin, and they have a different type of brainwave software and technologies that are used for attention management and these types of things. In this particular session, we did have some technical difficulties with the software. It's really not designed for this kind of thing, so we had to kind of make it useful to us. But it kind of cut off halfway through the session and all that kind of stuff. But we still got some really good stuff. But again, not really designed for this kind of thing, so we had to make it work for us. But some really interesting results came from it. Basically, it's designed to be used with a headset on, so there's music coming through, and it measures the brain activity. I didn't use the headphones. I didn't want to do that, but I did want to see what it would do when I was actually in a perception and remote viewing. And what I found, and it's in the video, the clip, we did videotape the actual program working, and you see all these levels going on. And so there are times when I am deeply into the session, into the perception, and you see these ranges get very narrow. And then when I'm talking or doing something else, they're kind of sporadic looking. So I did find that really interesting. But what we are going to do here very soon is to get an actual EEG machine connected to my head and measure all the brain activity that is happening when an actual remote viewing is taking place. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and it's finally coming around, and I'm just thrilled about it. My friend Dustin Newcomb is the person who got me in touch with Headway Health. He is also the monitor in this session, so I want to thank him for all of his help. Bob Price from INAX is also involved, and so we're kind of getting this group effort to kind of get this thing out there, and I'm so happy about it. So the session, or the target for this session, was the explosion of the Hindenburg, the crash of the Hindenburg, May 6, 1937. My task was to describe the most important element or aspect. What was the most important aspect of this event? And it was really interesting because in the session I went back on this kind of small under the microscope kind of level, and what I was really interested in was that there was this gas that was inside of a container, and it was pressurized inside of there and sealed inside of there. And so I went on to explore more of this element and the refining of it. I was trying to find the word that described how this thing was processed, and refined was one word that came up. So I went into stage 5 with that, and stage 5 is where you take some piece of information that came through in this session and you basically interrogate it as to what that thing means to me. It's not so much of the remote viewing as it is allowing myself to dump all the information out of my brain that came up, that combined into this one word of refined. And so what came through in that was the chemical elements, the chemical process being stripped down to a base element, which is hydrogen. And so it was interesting because what I was asked to describe was the most important aspect of it, and what I was drawn to was this base element, which I could see as hydrogen, which what happened to the Hindenburg was that it was designed to be filled with helium. Helium is a non-explosive gas, but the United States at the time would not sell Germany the helium. It was illegal to sell it. They just made it illegal, whatever. They wouldn't give it to them. So they had to use hydrogen to fill the majority of the gas bags inside of the Hindenburg were filled with helium or hydrogen, and hydrogen is, as you know, a very explosive gas. And so one way or another it exploded when it got here. There are some theories about what happened to that. But that wasn't really what I was drawn to. What I was drawn to was the helium itself, the base element. And the process of getting that base element was very interesting to me. And what I found in my research, because I was so interested in this process of going from dense to light, and into this gas form. I was so interested in that I had to do some research on it to find out what it is that I was so interested in, what was I trying to perceive. I could not find how the Germans process the helium. There's several different ways to do it. But what I did find, and what I was drawn to, was this process called pressure swing absorption, where they basically pressurize these gases, and it separates the different elements out, and then they let some of the pressure out, and it releases the gas. So I'm thinking that that may have been, and that is a process that is used in commercial creation of hydrogen, large-scale production of hydrogen. And so again, I haven't been able to find it, but it seems like that would be the process that they may have used, and that seems like the process that I was trying to describe. So it was just super fascinating for me, and I was so grateful to have the opportunity to go to a great place, Headway Health. Again, if anybody's here in Austin, check it out. And again, I will be continuing to explore and experiment in this use of this brain measuring technology with remote viewing, and those videos will be coming out soon. So check back soon, many more to come. All right, man, I'm ready to go.
1088
1088
2194
2194. A, across, sloping up, curving, up, hard and soft. Let me get some stage 2, so I'm going to put this on smooth, moist. B, land. I'll take it again.
1088
1088
2194
2194. A, curving down, angle across, point, sloping down, curving, and sloping down, hard, B, structure. I'll go one more.
1088
1088
2194
2194. A, cross, diagonal down, curving, sloping down, hard, energetic. B, structure. And I want to move into stage 2s. Edged. I'm getting an AOL here of magnifying. If I can spell it. Round, flat, edged again, distance, open, moving, vertical. AOL break this here, grounded. Open, silver, brown, across, deep, dense, slippery. What else? Angular, pointed, deep. Okay, an AOL break here of classic. Wide, another AOL here of filling up. What else we got? What about sounds? Rumbling, splashing, voices, roaring, inside, angular. AI is coming through here. Tense. I feel a little tense about it. Like I want to tense my body. I want to tighten up. Vertical. Getting this idea of actually I'm going to AOL of the signal this it's like a how do I even describe it now? Like something is getting through. Well, I don't know how I'm going to AOL the signal this, but it's like something is getting through, like a filter. Like a filter. the top part and underneath. Like yeah, like this is getting through this. Like it's getting through here. This is not a good representation of what I'm perceiving here, but it's like there's something here. And then these things get through it. It's refined. I'm getting some stage 4 stuff here, so. Stage 4, sensory dimensions, AI. EI tangibles, intangibles, AOL, the signal.
Do you want to break that up into, like, label that A and B on that drawing, and then view it as a whole, or view it?
Yeah, it's like kind of a whole to me, so we'll leave it like that, and then let me get back into it here now. I'm getting this idea of like refining. And I may want a stage 5 on it. Refining, like simplifying or filtering. Let me stage 4.5 this. Something goes through it. And is not filtered. Well, it's like filtered, but I'm trying to, there's a better word for it. Filtered, refined, what's the word for it? Skimmed. Skimmed? It's like, there's this, it's almost like it's heavier here. Oops. And it's lighter here. As it goes through this. This part here on the bottom, this is the part that is interesting to me. That's the part that I'm more drawn to. It's like energetic, electric. This is kind of crude here, you know, with something heavier up here and then, you know, changing its thing here. And this has like it's contained. Contained. I feel like I'm in a container. Like I'm in a container. AOL the signal this like a light bulb. Six sensory dimensions, AI, EI tangibles, intangibles, AOL the signal in a container. I'll put this in it as a tangible, like a substance. That's interesting to me. Inside. And closed. That's what it feels like. Like this stuff is inside. Inside of a container. Container is the best word that I can really come up with right now. Inside of a container. Suspended. Like a gas. Sealed. Sealed. Compressed. Getting this AOL here of a syringe. You know, like like something is pressed in here. Again. Pressed in. Compressed. Compressed and sealed. Well, let me do a movement on this here. 7, stage 4, sensories, dimensions, AIs, EIs, tangibles, intangibles, AOLs, AOLs of the signal. I mean, we can go into, you know, what is compressed in here, or what is the nature of it, but that doesn't really feel like what I'm being drawn to. It's more like a process.
Proceed and describe the process.
Yeah, let's do that. Let me just write that down. It's a process. Describe the process. I get this feeling like getting sealed up. Getting sealed up or over. A lid placed on top. Let me AOL this here of a like a tomb. But it's pressed and sealed. Pressed in here. Like let me stage 4.5 this. Like something being injected in. Pressurized. Like I get AOL here. Like a cryogenic. Was that what they call it when they freeze people? Cryogenic. However you spell that. But like that. Like that. Like that. How do you spell cryogen? With a K or a C? Cryogenic. Like that, you know, this feeling of suspension. Suspension and pressure. Suspension and pressure. It's intriguing to me. It's intriguing to me. It's interesting. It's feels kind of scientific. Pressure compressed. I keep getting this thing, getting an injection. Getting an injection. But that's, actually, I'm going to able to signal that. It's like getting an injection. What do you want to move on? Any of that?
What's going on in here?
All right, let me move to the center of the container. Move to the center of the container and describe and sketch. Come on your page here. Okay, I'm going to move to the center of this thing, and what's going on with this. It's like a some peace in the center. Peace in the center. And middle points. Okay, part of the container. Let me stage 4 and after a hard piece. Around subtle pieces. Black. Metallic. Hard. Well, the signals like meteorites. That kind of texture. Heavy. It's heavier than something heavy around the not so heavy stuff. It kind of feels like it's suspended to them, like feels like it is suspended with the rest. Let's go into what is it for? What is its purpose? What is the purpose? What is the purpose of this compression? What's the purpose of this? It's a in this case, this is an idea, thinning. Subtle inside. Subtle inside. And then dense around. Subtle inside and dense around. I mean, here's what I'm really interested in, is that there's something inside of this here. And it feels like it's compressed and suspended. And then there's something in here. It's holding something. Holding something. Still. Yeah, I'm just, getting this, stage 4 and have it again. Something stored in a container that is pressurized and sealed. What is it about it? AI, tangible, intangible, AOL. Like gaseous. Let's move to anyone who may be involved. Let's try that. Move to the main person involved with this and describe how they perceive it. How do they perceive it, this thing? How do they perceive it? How do they perceive it? Like it's outside of them. It's outside of them. How do they perceive it? they perceive it. Move to the main person involved with this and describe how they perceive it. Experimental. Experimental. A channel. A channel. I don't know what that means. We may want to stage 5 that. A channel, like a channel. A channel. Gateway. A channel. Direction. A direction. A channel. What does that mean? A channel, a direction, a throughway, if that's a word. It's I'm gonna have to make up a word here. It subtlefies it. It dilutes, but dilute is very loosely termed. Subtlefies.
Like it changes its nature, or it,
Yeah, yeah. Like that, like a change of nature. You know, it goes. I mean, it's almost like dense to subtle, but you know, that's real loosely. You know, that's a real generic thing, but it changes when it's in. Like, you know, heavy and light, or lighter. Gateway. A channel, a gateway, a direction. Like, it has to go through this way. this is like a channel. Right here. Like a channel. A gate. It's almost like something opens here. I'm gonna say almost because I'm trying to describe here. Here.
Look at that first drawing you did.
This one?
So before you had said refined, that you would want it to stage 5. That
Oh, yeah.
process. Do you think that would help?
Yeah, there's another one too.
Your first set.
Well, let's start with
Process.
yeah. Where are we at here? What page am I on? 8? All right, let's go 8A. And refined. Let me see. What is it? Attributes? Emanations? Refined, filtered, subtle, energetic, old, emanations, attributes of refined, lighter, refined, What about refine? What about objects, emanations? Again, filtration systems. What are objects in refined? Chemical processes. Elemental changes. Refine, well, objects. Objects, emanations of refined. Mechanical process. Objects. Machines. What about subjects? Emanations. Subjects. Refined. Again, chemical compounds. Chemical compounds. Refined. Stripped. down to a base element. Strip down to a base element. Refined topics, emanations, topics of refined, refined, refined. A base version. A pure version of something. A pure version of something. Refine is purity. Purity, getting to a core. A core. Refined. A purity, a pure version of something, its core. Base element. Like getting to a purity of something. Let me get back into stage 4 here. It's a pure version of something. Sensory dimensions, AI, EI, tangible, intangible. All right. A pure version of something. Pure version of something. That's the light part of it. Impurities removed. Impurities removed. That's the subtle. That's the subtle end of it. You know, there's a, it's like a pure compound. We're running out of time? Okay. All right, well, let me try to wrap it up here. What time you got?
It is 3:56.
All right. I'm getting is some kind of a process that seems like it's something is moving into something, through some kind of filtration type process and into some kind of a container type thing, or at least that's how I'm perceiving it. And it's pure on the inside, in this pressurized containment. It feels tense to my body. My body feels like it's tense. It feels energetic, almost like something is suspended. But to get there, there's like some kind of a channel or a gateway or a direction that gets it into this spot.
You were definitely on it, I'll say that. Get it all sealed up here. I'll get this one.
So the cue was describe the most important aspects of the scene at the time the photo was taken. And here's your sealed, suspended basic
Energetics.
elements. Yeah, a lot of energetics there. Basic element.
Oh, the gaseous
helium.
thing.
Yeah, helium.
Big container.
Big suspended container. The soft part, which this part is actually a fabric, and then the hard part is underneath. It actually contained the passengers.
Oh yeah, that's kind of like.
At one point, you went into that, but it was also suspended.
Almost like that thing, you know. This is all filled with gas, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's full of I think it's 16 large bags of helium, and I assume it's
Big
under
container.
pressure. Is it hydrogen or helium? It's yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's hydrogen.
That's why it blew.
Hydrogen, yeah, highly flammable.
I would be
hydrogen.
tense around that too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, yeah. No wonder I got, you know, the tenseness of it with that thing. Wow, I wonder how they got all that in there. How did the thing look on the monitor?
The monitor ran for how long was the session? About
Hour?
an hour?
Yeah, and it ran out probably about 2 pages.
Suspended like a gas.
Yeah. Suspended and sealed like a gas. Yeah, you said that several times. I think you were getting the dirigible. The part you weren't getting was the huge release of the energy, but you were getting the compression part. You know. When
Yeah.
before the voyage, when they pressurize it.
I'll have to research that.
Yeah, I didn't know much about it. Today I looked it up, and I have some good videos you might want to see on it.
On how they filled it up? I mean, I've seen the crash thing many
Oh.
times, but I'm
Well,
interested in how they filled it up with gas,
Yeah. That's
apparently.
right. This one-
Personal inclemencies, you know, the electrodes on my head.